Hey everyone, welcome back to Savor the Moments with Tia and Friends. I am so excited because we're celebrating the last days of summer here at my friends Port of Egypt Marina. And tonight is the night for them. It's their first annual Stripers Bash. They've been celebrating it all weekend. And today we're gonna celebrate. Harvest Moon's right behind us. You may not see it now because it's not happening now, but Harvest Moon is here. And we are ending the season with them tonight. And I'm also excited because we are staying at Heron Suites, which you will be seeing them next season on Fall Destinations to Savour. So stay tuned and see what we're going to be doing on the North Fork today. I'm so excited to learn more about Port of Egypt.
Well, we couldn't be more excited to have you here and to share what's going on this campus with you, because it's always been a special place, but it's kind of going into a new era now, so it's perfect timing for you to come and experience what's happening.
And it's actually the last days of summer. So we're sailing
Don't say it.
We're sailing into summer.
We're sailing into summer.
Always.
The best. Summer is a state of mind. That's
It is
what
a
we
state of
believe
mind.
here. We say that a lot in like January and February. We remind ourselves.
Summer's here.
Summer is a state of mind.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, me too.
So which boat is this?
This is a Grady White.
Okay.
A Grady White is a boat that is made in North Carolina, and we are the oldest dealer in the world.
In the world?
In the world, yep. Our grandfather took it on in 1960, and the company Grady White started in 1959. And so it is a super special engineered boat that was known first as a fishing boat and has evolved into fishing and cruising.
So I'm really looking forward to this.
And you're especially lucky because my cousin, Captain Will, is a primo captain who really knows how to drive these boats, so it's even like a better experience.
So it's a family affair.
Third generation, yes. Yeah, he and I took the helm here as general managers in March of this year, and his dad is still here, my Uncle Bill, doing all the things he loves, teaching people how to drive the boats and making this property great. He's our ambassador. And we have our kids have worked here and cousins and all kinds of things. So 1946 is when the business started. And the restaurant is part of we leased this out now, but our uncle used to run it years ago.
Goodness.
Now it's Allure. It's a fantastic restaurant.
Oh.
And the owner and chef, Adam Lovett, is actually catering the party that we're going to take you to. So you're going to experience that.
Yes.
But would you like to come aboard?
I would love to come aboard.
All right, so if you have to ask the captain, that's the rule. Captain, may we come aboard?
Captain, can we come aboard?
Absolutely.
See that? You see that? A wide aboard.
Graceful.
Yeah.
See, notice I don't get a hand as I'm old hand here.
Family affair. It's a family affair.
Yes.
Love
so
it.
you see the seating is fantastic. It folds out. There's plenty of room. Excellent.
All right, so tell me more about the story of Port of Egypt Marina.
Okay. Do you want to start at the beginning with how our grandfather got out here?
Okay, so our grandfather was a carpenter who built most of the IGAs in Brooklyn, and his relief from all that was coming out here and going week fishing on weekends. And the guy who owned the place found out that he was a carpenter. He kind of wanted out of the business. He had made a fortune rum running, and he was just kind of doing this as a hobby, running these boats. And he said, "Bill, these boats are made of wood. You're a carpenter. You can fix them. Why don't you come buy this business? And you love being out here all the time. Go for it." And he came out fishing all the time before he bought the business, and once he bought the business, of course, he didn't fish very much anymore.
Yeah, you know how that goes.
Yeah,
He was busy renting boats to actually fish anymore. But that was the beginning of it.
It was literally like the United Nations here. People would line up starting at 3 a.m., fishermen, and some women, and they'd line up at the fishing station to come in and get bait, that we would actually be counting worms into eclair boxes that we made as
my
kids.
goodness.
We're talking like 4 and 5 year old kids, putting seaweed in them, counting bloodworms, sandworms, getting crabs, selling them bait, candy,
It's like a
soda, beer.
science class.
And then they would get at first they didn't even get motors. They got towed out with oars and just left to fish. If you wanted to come back, you had to row. and eventually little like 15 horsepower.
Our fathers were the ones towing the boats out with the one engine in the whole fleet, and if you didn't like where you were fishing,
You had to
bust out the
row.
oars and you're rowing somewhere else, because
Yeah.
that's where they got left.
Yep.
Wow.
And at the end of the day, they'd go back out, collect them, and bring them back in.
Yep. Eventually we got motors, and so every day, I mean, how many boats was it in the heyday?
100. It was at the peak, it was 140 boats and 80 engines.
Imagine
and then a
that.
lot of people would
Wow.
bring
Getting
their
out of
own.
there.
Right here.
Yeah, right. They'd get their boat with their motor, and out they would go, and they'd have to be back by 5 o'clock, and it was that many boats a day. And then they'd
goodness.
come in, we had to clean them, get them ready for the next day. It was really, really intense. But such a sense of community, and when I say the United Nations, like all different ethnic backgrounds, all
Yes.
different socioeconomic classes, just sitting there and talking together and being together about fishing and being on the water. It was really, it's that's what we love about this place, is that you can just be yourself and connect with people on a really real level, and fishing helps you definitely do that. I mean, seeing this tournament,
Yeah.
people who don't know each other and just getting together, we're having a tournament here right now, and just they'll be friends by the end of the night, telling their stories of what they caught or didn't catch in some cases.
Yeah.
As my
It's
cousin
okay,
will,
it's
you know,
okay.
sometimes you don't.
Commiserating over the high winds.
Yeah,
It is
sometimes.
windy, as you can tell.
It
I'm
is
like
windy.
holding myself. I'm like, my hair's
Yeah.
all over the place. It's all
So
right.
the boat that we're sitting on, one of the great things about what happened was our grandfather and our dads had the foresight to actually start becoming a dealer. Because what happened was the insurance to rent out those little boats, it went up like 400% in 1 year.
Wow.
The fish were disappearing in different cycles. There wasn't as much fish to be caught. And so we were moving into having a dealership and selling these beautiful boats, which was a really good thing that kept the business going.
Wow.
Then they're servicing the boats, they're storing the boats, there's docking the boats. And so this whole other business evolved that was still tied to fishing and to the water.
Well, before we got onto the boat, you said a campus.
Yeah.
So when I think of campus, I think of education.
Yeah. Well, education has always been a huge part of what we do. When I told you about those eclair boxes,
Yes.
our grandfather, we have a great photo of him holding one with the pencil, and he'd be sitting here with you and showing you where to go to get the fish and
So mapping it out.
mapping it out, teaching everyone who buys a Greene White from Port of Egypt. We are renowned for the detail and the care we give to every customer, that they understand how to use this boat, the confidence to operate it, to dock it so that they enjoy it. Anybody that has a boat that stays in a slip, it's heartbreaking. You want them to use their boat and
Yes,
enjoy it. So
yes.
we are educating them about their boats, educating them about where to go. Will take people if you want to fish, if you want to swim, if you want to just hang out, whatever it is. We make sure that we're doing that. He does follow the leaders, where he'll go on this boat and other boats will follow him, whether it's to Salt on Shelter Island, to Block Island, to Newport, to
We
Essex.
can see shelter right there, right?
Yep.
Oh,
Shelter
shelter's
Island
right
right
there.
there. Right behind
Okay.
us, yep.
That's how we passed through Shelter Island to get here, which
Yep.
is wonderful.
Yes.
I like that
Yes.
ride.
And then we also teach workshops, which is really great. We have Women Making Waves, which is all women. We
That's
have
very empowering.
Boat Camp, which is men and women, and they learn how to tie up a boat, how to dock a boat, use a radio, buoys.
So wait, let's go back. Women making waves.
Yes.
That's very empowering.
It's very empowering.
So-
driving a boat, which you are going to do on the way back,
Oh, okay.
Will is going to get you at the helm,
All right.
is very empowering. And
Okay.
a lot of times women are the first mate on the boat, and maybe they want to be at the helm, but they sometimes just want to know what to do. So we
have
want
to
them
rewind.
to know
We
what
have
to do.
Rewind. Mate versus helm. I don't know these lingos.
Yeah, that's the first thing we do in the class. Is the captain's right hand. So you've got the captain. So whatever the captain says goes. It's a great place, a boat for kids
Within
to
reason.
learn. Within reason. Then there's the first mate, is the person that is getting orders from the captain and is executing them. So when you're coming in, getting the lines ready, being that second set of eyes for the captain. And a lot of times, one of our students said it the best. My husband yells a lot of nouns and verbs at me. I know what the verbs are, but I need to know what the nouns are. And I love that, because there can be a lot of emotion on a boat if
Yes.
you do not know what you're doing. Unpleasant emotion, and we want to take that meter and make it into what it is when you know what you're doing.
Yes.
And believe me, everyone has things to learn about boating, no matter how long you've been doing it, right?
Yes.
And it's all about practicing and doing it, but it can be very intimidating. So we try to take that out of it and let people see that it is empowering, and how great, beyond empowering, you're disconnected from digital disruption, from the stresses of life. When you get out here, you're out here.
Yes, and it's we're cruising.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like bumping. Like we're really cruising.
I mean, honestly, you could just sit on your boat at the dock and be on
Well,
vacation.
we're gonna go fast in a minute here.
Yeah, you're gonna sit. You're gonna get behind the helm.
Yes.
Yeah, then you're gonna feel it.
With the Women Making Waves class, is it like this? Like I'm on the boat with you, and you're showing me
Well, we
around
have
here, and then I
different
drive.
modules. So we, some of us are inside with people, and we do terminology, how to use a radio, safety, basics of navigation, and we answer questions that they have. While Will is out, how do you tie a boat to a slip? You know, when you come in, what do you do?
Okay.
And also, how do you dock a boat? And he's teaching them. He's a licensed captain and very, adept boat handler, how to dock a boat, and they're doing it. And sometimes they can't believe they're doing it because they look at the boat and they're like, how are we doing this? And then we switch groups. So it's 10 people at a time, 5 and 5. So it's very intimate. You get a lot of personal attention with what you're doing. And now we're launching graduate school where they're going to do scavenger hunts. We take them on a cruise and we show them the different buoys. What does it mean? Red, right, return. Just so they really get a feel for what it's like. And some of them have been on the water for years, but they've just been sitting here and not really knowing what's going on, and so they don't have as much enjoyment. Whether or not you ever want to drive a boat, it's nice to know the basics.
Yes,
and you relax more when you have the safety down and you know what's what.
Yes.
You know that's port, you know that's starboard, you know that's the bow and the stern. You're like, all right, I got this. I know what the boat's all about, and you enjoy it more.
You know what I love about this process is that you are bringing people together. You're bringing them together with fishing. Bring them together, even with the class, and connecting, whether it's a father and son or father and daughter, wife, husband, whatever it may be. You're bridging the gap.
And the women, it's multi-generational. We've had ages 14 or 15. Osa. Yeah, 13 or 14. And we've had a woman up to in her 80s. Her husband passed away, and she said, my kids don't let me have any say about the boat because I don't know how to drive it. So I want to learn how to drive it because it's my boat. And I want to do it. So it's really, and then they are all sharing their stories and getting to know each other. So it's really, really cool.
It's a true community that you have
we
here.
are so grateful because to have those experiences with people is the reason we do this, because it's really special to us. So
I feel
lucky.
I really feel it.
You're lucky. And you're lucky because you're going to get to drive a Grady
I'm
White.
kind of nervous right now. But okay.
Now turn a little bit to the right and look way in the distance on top of that. A little more. Turn. That's it.
Turning, I'm
now,
turning.
Way in the distance, you see up on the top of that ridge, you see a red blinking light?
Yes.
Aim for that.
Okay, so go straight.
So that's it. Straighten it up right there. Okay, good.
Okay.
Right about there. Now, put both of your hands on both of these. And
both
then
of my hands?
ease it forward. Now push it really hard. Push it really hard. Go. Give it hell.
Oh my gosh!
There you go. All right, now ease it back just a little bit, right about there. Perfect.
Okay. Am I still going straight?
That light.
All right, so I need to turn a bit.
Okay, and then you're going to take a really, really hard turn to the right. Right about now. There's no one else out here. Go ahead. Turn it harder. Don't push it forward. Just turn it hard.
Okay, I'm turning
really hard.
I'm turning. I'm scared.
All the way over.
I am. Are you turning over? Should I stop? I'm kind of scared.
No, you're good.
Help me.
Now, you see those lights over there?
Yeah.
Slowly start to straighten it out. Right there. Or straight. Right. Little left.
Okay.
That's it. Now you're headed right back to the marina. Okay. There's two lights by themselves.
What two lights by themselves?
There's a cluster of lights and then two by themselves.
I see it.
Head right down towards the two lights by themselves.
Okay. So I should turn right,
A little more right.
Okay.
A little more right.
See you guys. I do know how to drive a car.
You got this. You so have this.
Thank you. So So Jim is here, and we're going to talk a little bit more about tonight's affair. So,
well, it's great to be involved. You know, we're the Paradise Point Club, and we're a bunch of guys that got together, and we just hung out, and we really did nothing. And then all of a sudden, Dave one day came in and said, I was speaking to this woman, Linda, at the hospital, and I think we should run a fishing event to raise some money for the hospital. So we went from being a club about nothing to a club about something.
I like
and
that.
The more he talked about it, and the more we started doing things, the more and more fun it got to be. And this is the first one that we've ever done, and we're pretty excited about getting. We have 26 boats.
Wow.
We've got over 150 people here tonight.
Wow.
And for the first event, we're going to raise some money. I'm sure
Yes.
the hospital has other events that makes a lot more money, but we're on our way.
Everything counts.
Yes.
Every little bit counts.
Well, one of the things that all of us are living out here in Southold, and we're all in our 60s, and we realize the importance of having a strong hospital system.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, it's almost a selfish endeavor, to make sure that we have a good hospital system for not only us, but for the community.
It's actually selfless if you think about it.
Well, yeah.
People are birthing into the hospital, not the community hospital. But yeah, it's a selfless movement of what you're doing.
Yeah, and this is the first time we've ever actually done something for the community. There's about 10 of us that's in the club. Our sons are in the club, and we're trying to establish a little bit of a legacy to give our sons something to do when we get a little older and we can't do things.
That's great. What's really fun about this moment is you're helping the community thrive.
Yeah.
You're doing what you love.
Yep.
And you're bringing people together that may have not thought of everyone coming together.
Port of Egypt, well, Dave was able to come down and talk to them when we first came up with the idea about doing the boat event.
Yes.
The fishing event. He came down here, talked to them, and they were on board from the very, very first conversation. The sponsors we've had, Allure, the Port of Egypt, they couldn't be better. I mean, to have the Greenport Brewery here
Yes.
tonight. We have a couple of marinas that have really all pitched in and made it a financial success. The water's beautiful, and we're right smack dab between Greenport, so it's easy for the Greenport people to come out. We got Southold, we've got that Cutchogue, Mattatuck, that far away. So it's a great location for us to do these type of events. And the weather really helped out. It didn't help the fishermen last night out on the water. It was really choppy, but it was a good event for us. We're standing here outside and we're not being rained on, so that's a good event. Right.
So why did you pick striper bass other than the other fish out here?
He picked the tournament this weekend was for stripers and for bluefish.
Stripers and bluefish, okay.
And we gave first, second, and third place prizes to the people who came in with the biggest fish. We're going to be giving those awards out in a little bit. Next year we're going to change things up a little bit and make sure that we're being as environmentally conscious as we possibly can be as well.
I like that. Sustainability is key.
True, right. So next year we may do something where the winner will be whoever gets a fish that's closer to like 31 inches or whatever number is the right number. We'll make it even more challenging.
You hear that, everyone? So next year you got to stay tuned and see when you can come back here and hopefully fish with them, and you might see me on the water.
That's it. We'll get you on a boat.
Oh, that's happening. Port of Egypt's making that happen.
Okay. Sounds
Making
good.
waves. I'm going to be making waves.
All right.
It's such a pleasure
very
talking
much.
to you.
Good
And
talking
thank
to
you
you.
so much
Good
for
luck.
everything.
Good
Thank
luck.
you. Well, it's an honor to speak with you right now.
Well, I'm happy to speak with you.
Yes. So I would love to know more about the hospital out here. I mean, I just moved here from Atlanta a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And I'm on the South Fork.
You are?
Yes.
Well, you're with our sister hospital, Stony Brook, Southampton.
Yes.
Yes, and that's our budding little health system. Southampton is part of it. Eastern Long Island Hospital, now Stony Brook Eastern Long Island Hospital just came into the fold the 1st of July of this year.
Wow.
So we're happy to be part of the newest and fastest growing health system in Suffolk County.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what programs do you have there that the community can give back to? I know events like this is wonderful, but what else is there that we could do?
So let me start with this, that the overarching tenets of this merger between Stony Brook and Eastern Long Island Hospital was to allow us to continue our mission to this community. We've been in business 114 years. We're the first hospital in Suffolk County, and this will allow us to continue this mission to meet the current and evolving healthcare needs of the community. So that's one of the tenets. The other is to keep healthcare local.
Yes.
Stony Brook now wants to bring services to the North Fork and Shelter Island to be able to stop this outmigration that is happening. We have the oldest population per capita. We have a lot of older folks who are challenged to be able to drive out to Stony Brook. We want to bring those services that are most meaningful out to them out here.
Yes.
And we're doing a strategic plan to that point, and that at the end of the day, we expect to be able to find those services that the community identifies as they think are the most important and begin to develop those services.
Yes.
Right now, we're a 90-bed hospital, part of Stony Brook. We have an addiction continuum, which unfortunately these days is something that is very prevalent.
In this area?
Well, yes, we have a significant,
Wow.
everybody has it. Suffolk County
Yeah.
has one of the most significant problems with substance use disorder. So we have Quanticut, which is our addiction continuum, acute detox, subacute rehab, and then we have a brand new expanded outpatient program in Riverhead. We're a medical surgical hospital too. We have surgery, we have radiology, of course, emergency room that serves the entire community as well, and all sorts of diagnostic services for laboratory radiology. So we're kind of like a smaller a hospital that's kind of sort of scaled to meet the needs of a population of about 22,000.
Wow. 22,000 people.
That's what we have out here year-round.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
And that's just the North Fork right here? Or you're saying
That's basically the North Fork and Shelter Island. That's our primary service area.
Okay.
And that's the population that we've served for the past 114 years.
Oh my goodness. And you're just keeping it going.
We're keeping it going with Stony Brook now. We're going to be part of their academic mission.
Okay.
That means they're an academic tertiary medical center. So we're happy now to start a psychiatric residency program the 1st of July. That's very important to us because we have the only acute psychiatric unit that is east of Route 112. So that's important for us to be able to grow our own psychiatrists.
Yes.
Psychiatrists are very, very challenging to recruit. We have a master's in general surgery program where surgeons who've completed their training but want to have an experience in something other than an academic medical center. You know, most hospitals look like us around the nation. They're small hospitals. They're not like a big tertiary hospital. So when you have a surgeon who is trained in a big academic and they come out to a smaller hospital, it's different for them.
Yes.
So we are now giving them that setting and we're training them to be effective and to be comfortable in a different setting, in a more rural setting. So that's just a couple of things that we've started. And once we get this strategic plan done, there's much, much more. We're going to serve the community better and more comprehensively.
I love that.
Yes.
So are you from the East End, or?
I'm not. I've been here for 20 years. I've had this job for 20 years. I love this job. I love this community.
And are you into fishing?
Well, you know, this fishing tournament is a great thing. There's not a lot of fishing tournaments on the North Fork. South Fork has a few, but the North Fork doesn't have any. That we're very happy that Mr. Basile and those folks who have decided to be able to help us with raise money, because the hospital has to raise money. And by the way, all the money raised by our foundation, the Eastern Long Island Hospital Foundation, and by our auxiliary, and all the things that we do to raise money, it all stays local. None of it goes to Stony Brook. It's all for the purpose of the campus of Stony Brook Eastern Long Island Hospital.
That's good. And what I love about the competition, the Stripers Bash, is that this is a maritime community, so fishermen are coming out here from all over. And what they're doing is they're not only raising awareness for just the fishing community, but they're raising awareness for you.
That's exactly right.
And I love that.
And that's the point.
They found the key.
And we have new friends.
Yes.
New friends who will become interested in our hospital, because when you live and work in the same community, it makes a big difference. And that's what we have here. We have community members, family and friends taking care of each other. It's a small community. And bringing awareness to this through a fishing tournament or through anything else that we do, and we do a lot of events. This one happens to be a unique and new one. We're happy to be able to get new friends involved with us, to educate them about what we do and how important it is to keep our hospital healthy.
Yes. Now, how can the viewers learn more about it? Even though we're talking about it right now, where can they find you? Like,
well, we're in
website,
Greenport, of course.
Okay.
We're in Greenport. We're the furthest eastern hospital of any hospital in the state of New York, and we get up the earliest, that means. So, yes, so you can basically call the administrative office at 477-5100. You can ask for the development office, and they'll connect you over there, and they'll tell you all they need to tell you about Eastern Long Island Hospital. Come for a tour.
Yeah.
We give you tours. Know us before you need us. So it's kind of a neat thing to get a tour of the hospital. Dr. Michael Kaplan, who's the president of our foundation, has been a practitioner here for 40 years. His father 40 years before him. He knows anything and everything there is about this community and the medical care and the hospital. So come on out, take a tour of the hospital.
And even if you're inspired to do an event yourself for the hospital, just reach out.
Come and talk to us.
Yes.
I mean, fishing, Dream Greene, the gala, golf. We did Rock Your Heart Out in February with our doctors, who have a great band, and they played fantastic rock and roll music. So we do whatever it takes to be able to get the community involved with our hospital.
Keep it live.
Yes.
Keep it real. And now we're savoring.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Good, a pleasure.
It was a pleasure talking to you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I want to cheers.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to you, Richard. I am so excited to learn more about Greenport Brewery. So we're in front of this massive fire truck, but you're a brewery.
Yes, we are.
So what's the tie-in here?
Well, we are a 10-year-old brewery that my partner, my best friend from college, and I opened up back in 2009. And we found a really fantastic building in the center of Greenport Village that was an old firehouse. So the tie-in is, once we started making beer, we happened to be driving down the road. My wife saw this fire truck for sale on the side of the road. And she said, well, we ought to buy this fire truck. And I said, what are you, crazy? We were like a year and a half old, had no money. But she convinced me to give them a call. We did. We were able to pick it up, really great price. I was able to retrofit it, and we can actually pour beer off this truck on the other side.
Wow.
So this fire truck, we call it Signal 8. And Signal 8 is the fire department code for time for refreshments. So this is called Signal 8, and it's a beer fire truck.
I like that.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a lot of fun. I am instantly 11 years old when I get behind the wheel and get to blow the horn and sound the siren. And
That's what happened earlier.
Yes.
I heard a horn.
Yes. Oh,
I was
yeah,
like, where's
yeah.
that coming from?
that was me.
It was right here.
That was me. I'm sorry.
It's okay, it's okay. I just want to make sure there's no fires. There was no fires.
No fires. What we do is we motivate the firemen to put the fire out because we got the beer.
I like that. So where's the philanthropy aspect?
We actually, like an event like tonight where
Yes.
we're here with Eastern Long Island Hospital, we are, John and I really believe in kind of a three-tier kind of pillars of our local community, where we love to support local, we love to support children's events, and we lost both of our moms to cancer. So we try to do anything we can to kind of give back to the community, where it is an organization like Eastern Long Island Hospital
Yes.
does amazing things.
Yes.
So, we're really big, strong believers in kind of like keeping it local. And so, stuff like this is fun because you get to make a lot of great friends, you support a great cause, you meet people over a great beer. I mean, what's better than that?
I feel like stories are starting at your brewery.
We've had a lot of stories started.
lot
at
of
our brewery.
stories.
We've had a lot of marriages
I
kind
feel
of
it, I
happen
feel
at our
it.
brewery. Awesome.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers.